The point is for people like him, wannabe dictators who admire dictators. You know, you never hear him speak highly of, you know, our great leaders.
No.
He does say he's more popular than George Washington and Abe Lincoln, and he's done more for the blacks than Abe Lincoln, I believe.
He said I did more for the black than Martin Luther King, he said. He said that.
And I think it's about a power and money grab for himself and for his family. It's what Putin did. You know, Putin's rumored to possibly be the most wealthy person in the world, but we don't know how much money he has.
So, but here's what I don't get.
So people started protesting, like you said.
Right.
And then Putin started killing them or arresting them. So now they don't do that so much. And now he just does whatever he wants to do.
That's not going to happen here.
Okay.
So can you bring this up? Ukraine's been kicking Putin's ass. I want to bring this up because there was a report I saw. Some guy from Russia on Threads said they have shut down our media. We're not getting any information. Putin's acting like everything's fine, and from what we're hearing is that Ukraine is just kicking Russia's ass, which is funny. I'm going to bring this up again. So we used to get updates from all the classified information from Europe about what was going on in Ukraine, allies. And for some reason they couldn't make any headway. Now we know that Trump's buddies with Putin, so the second that France, Germany, and the UK decided not to give us classified updates anymore, which isn't happening, we're not getting updates on Ukraine. All of a sudden, Ukraine started beating the shit out of Russia.
Isn't that weird?
It's a weird coincidence.
Donald Trump wasn't getting intelligence ahead of time, and then when that stopped, Ukraine started doing better.
It's a cheap shot, but when you say Donald Trump and intelligence, it just makes me laugh.
They've had some very strategic successes as of February and March. They're obviously very heavily outnumbered. Ukraine has now successfully prevented a full Russian conquest. They effectively countered the Russian Black Sea Fleet, allowing for the resumption of grain shipments.
Wow.
So those have started again.
Didn't they just take back a whole bunch of land? They took a bunch of territory back, and I know they're bombing. I know they're sending drones into Russia deep.
Yeah,
they blew up a couple of oil fields or storage facilities, and if it's funny because Putin thought this shit was going to be over in 3 days. He said 3 days. It's going to go in 3 days. It's going to be over. We're going to take Ukraine. We're back. We are at year 4 now.
5. Can
we're
you
on
believe
year 5.
that?
Jesus.
It doesn't seem like that long. I mean, it's crazy. I would have said a year and a half, 2 years, it feels like, but there's so much other horror happening daily that it's just hard to keep up with. And I never thought that there would be a time that we're not talking about Ukraine in the news every day, and we don't hear about it.
So that week when we played that Club Magoobies, that was week 1.
Oh yeah, because the guy
was that 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. So here's what I don't get. And it's really obvious that dumb is not good for president. Guys, we don't want another dumb fucking president. I don't care if I want to have a beer with him. I don't care if he's an idiot. And I relate to him because he's just like me. When you have a dumb president, what ends up happening is dumb shit happens. Like you invade a country for no reason. Like you start getting our soldiers killed for no reason. Like you drive oil prices up $1 a gallon for no reason. Gas prices, he had just done the State of the Union.
Yeah, he actually can't decide if this is a war or not.
Or an excursion. We talked about that last week.
Or is it over? Or
going to keep it going.
Yeah.
Like, someone made a point. So you guys know that like the day we started bombing, we were still in negotiations with Iran. So that's some shitty anti-Geneva Convention stuff. We're negotiating to not go to war with them, so we bomb them while they're negotiating, which means nobody was ready for it, which sucks. That's us. That's America's reputation and stuff like that. Then we're in negotiations again. We keep bombing. Now we're in negotiations now. Trump says, I'm going to hold off 10 days before I start bombing your energy facilities, which is a war crime because it's civilian energy facilities. we're done as a country. Do you understand that? When this is over, because he's 80, he'll fucking die. And the day he dies, oh my God, there is going to be billions are going to have joy.
Yeah, but how old was his dad?
96. I don't like that at all. That's a pathetic noise. That's someone who's in the trunk of a car and knows they're dead.
Yeah.
So what do we do? Because he's going to die. J.D. Vance refuses to debate Gavin Newsom. So I don't think J.D. Vance is going to be running for president.
You really don't think so?
He may.
I think Peter Thiel is going to tell him to.
Well, do you know, because of Citizens United, I just read this, the billionaires have already donated $433 million to the midterms for Republican candidates. 430. So Citizens United is fuck this country so hard. It is the worst thing that possibly could have happened. So you mean corporations or a single person? It used to be $2,500. You can only give $2,500 to any campaign. And I've said this before. Companies got around it by saying, "Hey, you're going to sign this paper that you gave $2,500," and then that would go through the company. So there were still ways of cheating it. However, that was called campaign finance fraud, and people would go to jail for that.
Mm-hmm.
Our DOJ, I think they just got them a patio with some deck chairs, and they're just sitting out there drinking just pitchers of margaritas because there's no Department of Justice anymore.
No.
So, you okay, chap?
He's okay.
He's okay.
Also, we were asking where Maduro and his wife Celia have been. They just made their second appearance in federal court today, Thursday. But the judge is apparently signaling that we perhaps have not done something appropriate.
Really going into another country?
The government may be unconstitutionally interfering with Maduro's defense.
Hold on. So wait, you're saying that America went into another sovereign nation, kidnapped the leader, and brought him out. Then we put him in jail. Now we're actually railroading him through the legal system, kind of illegally. And you're saying that that's wrong?
Yeah, apparently the U.S. government has refused to allow the defendant's lawyers to be paid from Venezuela. And the judge is saying that's an unconstitutional interference with their right to counsel. So we just want to keep them locked up and not let them pay their lawyers for the defense.
Well, Trump doesn't pay anybody. I just got something, and I want to talk about it, and then we'll get out of here.
Oh, not quickly.
I don't know if I want to do the podcast anymore.
Oh my God.
I just got something.
You say this every week.
Maybe I'm right. What's the point? So there is, and I'm noticing this when I'm on the road at the clubs. There is a desperation because nobody knows what to do. Like this guy on the fucking daily, he just put armed guards in our airports and no one said a fucking word. In our airports. He has violated the rule of law repeatedly. And say what you will about Obama. Obama deported more people than he's deported, and he did it legally. And guess what? Did it without fucking shooting people in the streets, without murdering anybody. And every day the guy just does what the fuck he wants. And Congress are the biggest pussy cowards I've ever seen. I cannot believe the Republicans. The Republicans are so complicit in treason. It's fucking treason. You're letting a guy violate the laws left and right, violate the Constitution, violate everything. And we are sitting here continuing to pay our taxes, continuing to do the rules we're supposed to follow. If we all stop paying our taxes tomorrow, if we all stop going to work for 1 week, if everybody just stopped for 1 week, it would rattle it, but we don't know what to do. There's a protest coming up this weekend.
Is this the No Kings?
The No Kings protest. And people are already saying that I can't get anybody to go.
Why?
Because I think people are like, what do we do?
Don't want to get doxxed.
Well, also, how do you get someone to change their mind if you plan the protest? You know, the thing about the George Floyd protest was where they were improv. We just showed up and they started burning shit down. Sorry, the Boogaloo Boys started burning shit down. And we were protesting all the time so that they couldn't react to it. Well, when you tell them we're going to have a protest on the 28th, I get that they want us to go and they want us to mark that day. However, you can get all the law enforcement, all the National Guard, you get all the people you need to counter that protest or shut it down. And we have this social media thing where we can all instantly just go, guys, 20 minutes, be here. And we could do that, but we're not doing that. We need flash mob protests because planning it, yes, there's going to be a lot of marches. The news is going to cover it pretty well. The news is going to say, oh, there's a lot of people, more people than ever. And nothing's going to happen. And I think that's where I'm at. I'm at like, we can't affect change here because there is nobody on our side. The Democrats, by the way, including the Democrats, fucking Chuck Schumer. Every time I see him hit the mic, or Hakeem Jeffries, I'm like, guys, are you doing anything? The only guy who has the balls is Gavin. Gavin came out and Gavin Newsom comes out and goes, we need to get brutal like they are.
Yeah.
And he's right. He's right. You can't counter a flamethrower with a lit cigarette. You just can't. We need a flamethrower.
So there's a lead story today about Gavin. He, a few weeks ago, surprised many on the left with he broke with establishment democratic protocol and likened Israel to an apartheid state.
Agreed.
But then he said in another interview he regretted using the term and that he reveres the state of Israel. So he criticized them, then reversed it. And it's just sort of shows what a mess Democrats are. Like everybody's
or how powerful Israel is.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to figure out what the right thing to do or say.
That's what Democrats do.
Whereas he does not.
Republicans don't fucking give a shit. They just do what they want.
No.
So I read something that I thought was really interesting about Israel. Israel is all this comes from Israel. If you look where we're at, and this comes from Netanyahu. He's Gaza was beaten long before they stopped bombing and killing people. I love the Jews. Swear to God. I really hate Netanyahu and what he's done to Israel.
Well, a lot of his constituents did as well. I keep saying this. Before that attack happened, they were in the streets protesting. He's a convicted criminal.
But you start a war, everybody forgets.
Exactly. Also, other things we forget about. It has now, this new story just broke yesterday that the Trump administration shredded jail documents immediately following the Epstein death. Shredded documents from that investigation, that search and seizure. Shredded. Just want you to know that. Julie K. Brown broke this story.
They shredded the documents not from the investigation into his death. They shredded the documents
jail documents.
They shredded jail documents. Yes. Like witnesses, people that could have been there, they just shredded them. There's a story. Bring this up. Trump administrators die in helicopter crash.
Bags of documents were shredded and thrown away at the jail in the days after Epstein died.
Wow.
So I don't know, visitor logs.
And Ivana was on her way to testify. She was going to testify.
Phone call transcripts where people, who knows? I don't know. They're shredded. We'll never know.
So we'll never know if there was who Epstein was talking to, what he was talking about. We'll never know. And if people that did know it know that he wasn't suicidal, because we were told that he wasn't suicidal by his own attorney. Mm-hmm. I find it really weird that why would you go in and we're run by criminals, man. Our country's being run by fucking criminals right now.
This whole episode is brought to you today by Square.
Oh, I was gonna, yeah, right.
Who doesn't lose information
at all. They
Square powers our whole business. Square, you buy stuff. You buy things at a street fair or inside of a brick and mortar store. Everybody's using Square. The little terminal where you can boop or insert or whatever. It has revolutionized small business ability.
I like to boop then insert.
It revolutionized our ability to sell posters and t-shirts and at the time DVDs on the road. We could take money from people and credit cards from people instead of sending them up the street to the ATM. And also Square powers our payroll. They take all of the guesswork out of it because I would not figure that out. And they do our California taxes, our EDD, they do our federal taxes, they file quarterly, and then they send Ken all the stuff just already pre-populated. It's amazing.
But also, like, if you're running a small business, it's such an it's so easy. I remember we used to have to get change and have to hand people with t-shirts or posters and blah, blah, blah. And then we got Square, and it was just like, done. How's he doing?
Something's going on. So
how do you get the Square?
Square also has Square Banking. Just want to put that out there because it helps you access the money that you made immediately through Square Banking. That's another thing I like. It's just immediate access to your money. If you're starting a business or you're running one that deserves better tools, Square helps you sell, manage, and grow without slowing down. Right now, you can get up to $200 off of Square hardware at square.com/go/Titus. That's SQUARE.com/GO/Titus. Build your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
I have to get back. I'll take it on the road this week. So much
you
easier.
Are going to.
I think it's even easier than, like, we use a couple different payment methods, and as we were talking, it's the easiest.